Hello. Cards everywhere. Collective reading time for Muse Medicina. This is your Thursday Thunder collective reading. My name is Eutimia Cruz Montoya. I am coming to you from Arapaho, Apache, Cheyenne territory, Denver, Colorado, land of my ancestors, land of my upbringing. And I am reading for you with this Muse tarot deck. It's one of my newest tarot decks, and probably my old Te Amo Mucho Santa Muerte deck. That's what's coming up right now, but things always shift and change. You never know what spirit guides. Shit's crazy. Things are crazy. I said some really weird shit earlier, luckily to someone closer to me that I'm going to have to move through and delve through and see where that was coming from. If it was coming from the highest collective or it was coming from some of my own old biased shit, I don't know, but I intend to find out. So something I want to share with you that I'm learning from a beautiful friend astrologer. Follow her on Instagram, Moons of Aphrodite, and her name is Myrto. She's a beautiful Greek Hungarian woman, and she is a lineage astrologer and teaches all about mythology and astrology and how it applies to our everyday lives. But right now, and this is really informing a lot of the work I'm doing right now, Chiron is in Aries. Chiron is the wounded healer, and Aries is like that warlike mover god person. If you guys know any Aries, there's a very strong ram energy. Lilith is in Aries, and Lilith is the dark goddess, where all that deep undercurrent shadow work is also in Aries coming to a head. And Mars currently is in Aries, and Mars is the planet that rules our action. So everything is super warlike right now. So there's a lot coming to the surface. There's a lot of dark shadows, truths coming out. There's a lot of healing that we are being called to do in a very punch you in the face kind of way. So it's necessary for us to realize that in the stars, there's just a lot of combative, confrontational energy. So if you're feeling that, give yourself space and give yourself time, space and time to come away from things. Now, I also want to share that being in the streets right now could be really, really dangerous, because Chiron is in Aries right now, the wounded healer in all of us, the woundedness in all of us is coming out. There's been some gang-related, drug-related death in my family recently, and that's been really hard to deal with, and there's just so much anger that we're all collectively dealing with. So it's really necessary for us to be compassionate with ourselves and loving with ourselves, and really ask ourselves, where is this coming from? What is underneath this? What needs am I trying to get met that I have not yet got met? And how can I meet those needs myself first? Because then you don't have to deal with anybody else. But if you need somebody else to help you meet those needs, like a partner or a parent or a sibling, for instance, maybe it's boundaries, and every time they come in your room, you scream something really mean, but you could just have a conversation in a loving way or a compassionate way or in a preemptive way with them about what you need, so that shit isn't hitting you in the face. Hey, Nene. Yeah, we could talk about it. Call me. Yeah. So, shit's fucked up, yo. Shit's fucked up right now. Y'all already know that. Okay, so Thursday Thunder reading. Thunder, Jupiter, Thor, lightning bolts, and thunder moving shit, right? Shaking shit up. So what do we need right now? I invite you to ask yourself. Omite. Great Spirit, Tonkashila. All that is good. All that is precious. All our lives. The sanctity. All of our guides that are honorable, that are helpful, that are healing, all of our ancestors that are choosing healing. Great Spirit, I ask that they are here with us during this collective read. I ask for the energies of releasing anything that is not for our optimal well-being. I ask for river energies. I ask for storm energies to come through and clear. Excuse my puppy dog. She's clearly feeling stuff too. All that Aries. I ask for the spirit of the water to help quell some of our fire now. I ask that we are well nourished in our souls and in our bellies. I ask that we all get the messages we came to receive at this time so we may do the divine work of our highest good, collectively and individually. Ometeo. Okay. That's not the deck, y'all. Just got the message. This is the deck. Dang, some of y'all got some strong messages coming through right now. Smoking, y'all been smoking too much. Smoking way too much. Not good for your lungs, not good for your heart, not good for your grief, and not good for your ability to move quickly. FYI. Really bad for your vagina juice too, y'all. Just saying. Okay. This is the one card that's come up right now. This is the Ace of Cups. In this deck, it's a libélula, a little dragonfly, which represents the connection between the worlds. Dragonflies are iridescent. Dragonflies bring messages to the unseen realm. Smoking anything is the same because smoking is hot and dry. So even if you're smudging all the time and breathing in hot, dry, hot, dry, hot, dry, your lungs are supposed to be wet. They're supposed to be full of fluids that easily ebb and flow. So regardless of what you're smoking, definitely different things have different other effects. But if you think of it qualitatively, constant hot, dry is going to make your blood slow, make you sluggish, make your energy less weak. Smoking in general excessively is really detrimental to the fluids of the body. As soon as you said not this deck, I was like, Santa Muerte for sure. I see you practicing, Tito. But can you balance that? We can talk about that a little more later. Okay, so cup. One of cups, Ace of Cups. Aces are pure potential. Cups are about filling your emotional body. This card specifically, you see the water, and we called in the waters, the storm, the river, the waters to quell the heat. We really need to be drinking enough water when Aries is going crazy right now. We really need to be drinking enough water so that our blood bodies stay well nourished. We need to be drinking enough water so that our cells have enough fluidity to do their vibration to push out toxins. So making sure water is a big part of our lives. Going back to the balancing the smoking, abuse is abuse. Abuse is abuse. There are reasons why we smoke, and this is coming from someone who used to be a heavy smoker, both marijuana and tobacco. I was really into spliffs since I went to Jamaica on Bob Marley's birthday when I was like 28. So we can definitely, like, here and there use medicina like how it's supposed to be used, right? Like a little bit of a tonic, a little bit of a push if we're having like a heavy phlegm, copious mucus, wet situation, if we're not already a smoker. And then smoking a little mullein in your mix might be actually super beneficial. But the way smoking is leveraged as a hole filler in this society, because of the immense amount of ancestral grief and tragedy that has gone on, smoking is actually depleting us of our fluids and of our ability to be fully present in our healing. So you really need to tune into the fact that calling something like medicine and poison are the same. The difference is dosage. Okay, some shit that will kill you, if you give a little bit, will enliven the thing in you that needs to survive. But some shit that's meant to be medicine, if you abuse it, depletes your life source energy. Yeah, so there's that. Okay. Yeah, using smoke for spiritual practices. That's really good. I haven't smoked any tobacco outside of ceremony in almost 4 years. Okay, maybe almost three. I wish it were four. Almost three. But when I have smoked tobacco because of needing to for ceremony, it's definitely what the ancestors meant it to be, which is that direct connection to Creator. Thank you, needing to hear this right now. A few weeks off until 2 nights ago. Good. Okay. This card, yes, water, but it's the One of Cups. Aces are pure potentiality, which is like a movement forward. This is an invitation to us that we need to fill our spiritual cup, and it has to come from a place that we can't see. Sure, we have brothers and cousins and boyfriends and girlfriends and non-gender conforming lovers that really give us a lot, right? We have abuelitos and neighbors, and in COVID, it's hard, right, to have that mutual connection. But even a stronger need for us to actually ask ourselves, how do we fill our spiritual and emotional cup outside of people, outside of television, outside of drugs, outside of alcohol, outside of even, honestly, cards, etc., right? A lot of us like want to be tripping and enjoying a spiritual path, but those can also be a distraction, right? It's like, oh, I'll just read my cards 20 times today, but you keep getting the same cards over and over and over again, because what you really need is to like sit with yourself or breathe or sleep or spend that extra time with your toddler, or take a bath or do something that isn't a distraction, but that is actually going to help you move towards your discomfort place so you can start unknotting and unraveling it. Especially with Mars and the placements that it's in, the fact that Chiron is in Aries right now, which is that wounded healer, gives an extra oomph to our self-healing, but it also makes the outside is extremely volatile. I've been going outside recently, and I had to come back in because there's demons everywhere. And we could talk more about that, but a lot of it is like drugs and greed and white supremacy and leftover shit from ages and ages ago. Like the shadow self of the world is showing right now, if that makes sense. Self-touch, thank you, Patricia. Okay, so that is this. How are we filling our emotional cup in a spiritual and emotional way that isn't diluting ourselves with substance abuse? Some of us are smoking way too much. Some of us are drinking way too much. Some of us are like playing in the spirit realm way too much and not dealing with our personal material realm necessities. Like, we are spiritual beings, but we live in a body, and our body is our messenger. So how are we holding space for our bodies that our spirit self can be the hollow bone? Okay, now we can do the muse cards. How's everyone doing? Thanks for being here. It's nice to see y'all. It's windy outside. Shit's crazy. It's crazy. Great Spirit, please give us some tools. Give us some tools right now. Sometimes the way is dark and we don't know. Really? All right. Gotta stay grounded, y'all. Feeling so good today. Good. I'm glad you're feeling good today. The devil. The devil. The devil's everywhere, y'all. Devil is right side up, all up in your face, everywhere, okay? The devil is that asshole in the Walgreens who won't wear their mask. The devil are the drug spirits outside who are looking at you. Like, somebody like me who sees spirits and everything, is like straight up, like the dark energies are like drawn to me because I can see them and because I do work in those realms. So it's like when I go out, I need to make sure I'm like, right? So this card, look at her. She is like, nah, don't come in here. Like, the darkness exists. How are you interacting with it? Are you going to place yourself right in the way of that dumbass who isn't like honoring the clerk in front of them? How are you dealing with that? I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't, but my question is, what are you giving yourself to? What battles are you choosing to fight? Or are you creating a space for yourself where you don't have to fight? Okay, now this is a really interesting, it's coming up really interestingly about like the times right now and about fighting, and like there's a lot of like fight, 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 which I totally get because of injustice, etc. And if you're looking at like war strategy, ancient war strategy, not every warrior goes into every battle, and not every battalion chooses to fight every battle, and for good reason, because you have to be strategic about how you spend your energy, right? This is also about listening. Okay, and when I say listening, I mean who are you listening to? When are you listening to them? There was a really interesting thing the other night, a gathering at the park for one of our youth. And I really wanted to go to be there in solidarity because my prima lost her baby. And it was a fucked up situation. And I cried a lot because that was one of our first babies and it was really fucked up. But I couldn't go. I couldn't go to the park. And it was because my spiritual, I just couldn't go. Like, I can't explain to you why or why not, but y'all who are on the path understand. So I couldn't go. And then later on, I heard some crazy shit went down, and there were drug demons, and there were gangs circling around, and there were everybody wearing a gun and stuff. And like, with the kind of person that I am, because I interact in the spirit realms, like, I feel like if I would have been there, shit would have even popped off more, because I'm the kind of person who like extracts that kind of stuff. But I couldn't go. Like, God said no, literally. If I would have chosen to go, shit could have gotten, I don't know what would have happened. I'm glad I didn't go, and I'm glad that I got the confirmation right away, because some of my spiritual sisters who were in that space left because there was all that happening. So Creator was like, Nahita, stay home. And I did, and I was glad. My point is, y'all need to be aware of where you are allowing your space to hold. What are you allowing your space to hold? Where are you placing yourself so that your space holds? Okay, so this card, this is the Devil card. It's the 15 card. It's about a dance. This shit is out there, okay? Right now, the United States especially, I don't know about other places in the world. Like I said, I'm kind of like provincial when it comes to my own little life, because of all of this. I stay here. You know what I'm saying? I invite you to as well, or at least understand the reasons for which you choose where you end up. Know what you're doing and why, and ask the questions. Do I need to be here, and for what purpose? Okay, this is very important right now, because shit is popping off right now. Whew. This card came up earlier in a reading. This is the Two of Inspirations, or the Two of Wands, and it's like this person alone with a telescope. So this is once again a call for us to look to our cosmos, look to our spiritual selves, look to the star people. And this isn't just like straight up like become an astrologer. When our ancestors, all of our ancestors, before industrialization, before electricity, before comets and printable astro charts, right? What were they doing? They were literally sitting with themselves under trees, looking up at the cosmos, asking, what's next? Show me. Okay, and they see a shooting star, and they understood where the constellations were in the stars and how they would come through and what that meant for the seasons. This is a deep ask and a deep call for us to come back to ourselves in our connection to our surroundings of nature, because there's answers there. Okay, note things. If you've taken a permaculture class, there's a whole political thing we won't talk about right now. But if you've taken a permaculture class, one of the biggest things is noting the sectors, they call them. What time of day does the sun hit a certain place? Is there a footpath that people have that cross to go to their job? Like, is there a specific place the dogs you notice pee? These things make up our surroundings. They make up our ability to be in tune with what's going on around us. Okay, so this is an invitation for us to reacquaint ourselves with our surroundings in a way that gives us leverage. And why do I say that? Why give us leverage? Because we have been so disconnected from our surroundings for so long that we don't even know what foods are causing what symptoms, that we don't even know the difference between the TV propaganda and our own heart truth. Okay, this is a call for us to be quiet in nature and slow down enough that we can actually see, if that makes sense. We need to come out of the yes, this, that all the time, so we can actually see, if that makes sense. Okay. So then the last card, I love the way this is depicted. This is traditionally judgment, but in this deck, it's called awakening. So I notice in this card, judgment is usually like a bunch of people looking at you or talking about you or saying like you're scared of being judged. But this card is like the light coming from her thymus. This is like her heart's down here and her throat's right here. This is opening the space between the throat and the heart to allow the heart song to get out through the voice channel, if that makes sense. So the opposite side of being judged is being in complete and total 1000% alignment with your heart truth and your voice place. So when I open this, I'm saying that, oh man, I had some weird shit going on earlier. I said some shit that was problematic. Where was that really coming from? So this is an invitation for us to take a lens away from ourselves, even to really tune in, like, what are our biases? Why do things come through the way they do? Was this divinely offered, or did I not make sure to clear myself? Awakening is really about asking yourself constantly if you are being fully present, or if you are being who are you talking to? One of my teachers, my tia, always asks, who are you talking to? You have to know who you're talking to. Okay, you have to make sure you have really strong boundaries so that some random spirit doesn't come through and act like they're God. Okay, this is really about a clear connection to your yes, your you, your soul self, and actualizing whatever your actions are from that connection to soul self, if that makes sense. Okay, questions. Let's go through. Let's see what the people are asking today. I need to see what time it is. Somebody tell me what time it is, please. My devices are caught up. Hello, hello, hello. Questions. Pretty face. Oh, hi. Feel that good. I'm glad you're feeling it. Hey, Queen. Oh, yeah, it was messed up. Love you too, Nene. It's literally thunderstorming here during the thunder reading. Word. Oh, Meteo. Vagina? Yeah, man, your fluids. Fluids are, there's no separation in your body is an illusion. So all of your fluids are connected. When we talk about birthing, if our mouths aren't like, our vagina is not going to open. So if the mouth fluids, you getting cotton mouth in your mouth is like a direct affiliation to the rest of the fluids in your body. Yes. Smoking what? We talked about that. Santa Muerte deck. Tito knew it was up. We got to get back to using smoke for spiritual practices. And that's a long conversation. It has so much to do about unpacking colonialism, right? How about a sore throat remedy? Smoking makes it worse. Yeah, smoking would make a sore throat. It depends on what your sore throat is from, but is it dry? Is it like strep throat? Is there pustules on it? Is it scratchy? Is it pokey? What's up with your voice? Are you angry? What are you eating? Is it inflammatory? Are you having enough mucilaginous foods in your diet, like nopalito? Lots of different things. Thank you, needing to hear this right now. You're welcome. I quit smoking many moons ago, same way. Orale. What about weed? I answered that. You can go back. Hot and dry and hot and dry and hot and dry over and over again is qualitatively drying and hot. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Good. Self-touch is good way. It's intense, huh? Yeah, everything's intense right now. Yes, I'm glad you guys agree. Gotta stay grounded, y'all. This is the ultimate time to stay protected. Indeed it is. Thank you, Brown Healing. Feeling so good today. I'm glad. Wow, I needed to be called out like that. Thank you. You're so welcome. I'm glad my mouth is helpful. Sometimes I'm like, ooh, what just came out your mouth? I'm good. Some fierce spirits are around. That's true. But don't take it for granted either. Still listen and stay put when they tell you. I feel that so much. Good. I love that card. Good. And what are your coping strategies? Oh, that's a good thing. Yeah, I'm human as fuck. Yesterday, I cooked a lot. And I made, like, when I quit smoking, what I would do, I would make these things called anak. Amazingly attractive non-alcoholic cocktails. Because I would, like, quit drinking and smoking at the same time. And that always have fuzzy water around. And, like, syrups or juices. So yesterday I cooked fruit that would go bad and added sugar and made 2 different kinds of syrups, and with the pulp stuff I blended it and made like jam. Yeah, I spent all day in the kitchen coping. That was a coping mechanism for me. Let's talk about coping, guys. Coping, did anybody tell me what time it is? Did I miss it? 3:28, so that was like 5-10 minutes ago. Okay, because oh shit, guys, I have to go. But let me see. I can come back in a little while and we'll talk about coping. This is my total bad. I have another reading right now. But I'll talk to you soon. Okay, many blessings.